Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Ms. Carranza and Mr. Grice's Algebra 1 class. Today we are going to be going over section 1.7 in our notes. We will be introducing functions and function notation. So hopefully after today that you will be able to identify what the domain and range are of a relation, determine if a relation is a function, and complete an input-output table for growth for given function and graph the results. So before we get started, let's start writing down some definitions so we know what we're talking about. Now, a relation is a pairing of values. And normally when those are paired, there are inputs with outputs. And a domain is the set of input values written in numerical order. Okay, and this numerical order, what that is least to greatest. So the smallest number to the largest number. Okay, and now range is the same thing, except instead of input, it's the set of output values written in numerical order. Okay? So a function is a relation. A relation is a function if and only if each input has exactly one output, okay? And this part is very important. Each input has exactly one output. In other words, make sure that the same input doesn't have two different outputs. Okay? So we have to make sure that each input has only one output. Let's start going through some examples. Example 1 says identify the domain and range and then decide if each one is a function. And remember, domain are inputs, the range are the outputs. So how we're going to write this is we're going to write the domain and then we're going to write the range. Okay? The domain are the inputs. So any number over here, that is the domain. And all we're going to do is write down those numbers and put them inside the set. Okay, same thing with the output. -6, -1, 0, 3, 15. Okay, so the next thing we have to decide, is this a function? So we have to look to see if any of these inputs over here double up. And they don't. So what that means is this a function? Yes, it's a function. Okay, example number 2. Identify the domain and identify the range. So we're going to do the exact same thing. Domain and range. Remember, for all of these, they have to be in numerical order. Okay? So I see a 1 right here, but that's not the lowest number. The lowest number is -2, -1, 0, and 1. Now our range is -6, and I'm not writing those in order. So -6, -1, 2, 3, and 4. So is this a function? Take a look on your input side. How many times is number 1 written? It's written twice. And one time the answer is -6, and another time it says it's -1. So when that happens, the answer is no. Okay? Now, example 3. Once again, the domain and the range. Let's write the domain in order, which is -3, -2, -1, and 0. The range is in order -6, -1, and 5. Now, you might see that on the range, or the range side, that we've got numbers that repeat. That's okay. Let's look at the input side. Do we have numbers that repeat? We do. But each time they repeat, it goes to the same number, and that's okay. So is this a function? The answer is yes. All right, let's go ahead and flip it over. Oh, can I turn my page? There we go. Now it says create an input-output table for each function and graph the results. Remember, number 4. Example number 4 says f of x equals x plus 7. Okay, now what that is, this is function. Oh, let me try and rewrite that. This is function notation. And our little note says, remember that the input values represent the x. So these right here is the x. So in our equation, what you're going to do is you're going to plug 0 in for x. And 0 plus 7 is 7. So that's what our answer is. So if you want to, we can go ahead and write the equation down each time, because that's what we're using the same equation each time, and the only thing we're changing is what number we're plugging in. For this one right here, 1 plus 7, 1 plus 7 is 8, 2 plus 7 is 9, and 3 plus 7 is 10. And the number that we're getting out, that is the output. So the next thing it says that we have to graph, okay? Now, our outputs are on the vertical side, our inputs are on the horizontal side. Here is 0, this is 5, and this is 10. Same thing, 5 and 10. Now, our first number that we need to plug in together is the pair 0, 7. So I'm at 0, I go up to 7, and I draw a point. Our next number is 1, 8. So I go to 1 on the input, and I go to 8 to the output. And we're going to continue that pattern. And the last step is to draw the line. Okay? All right, why don't you guys try example number 5. Go ahead and pause the video, and then you guys can see the answers in just a second. Okay? Okay, and there are the answers. Now remember, what we did with the graph over here is we made sure to connect the lines after we plotted the points. And if your graph does not make a straight line, that means you're doing something wrong. Okay? If you have any questions, please come find Ms. Carranza or myself. We would love to help you out. That's it for Chapter 1.7, Introduction to Functions and Functions Notation. Thanks, guys.